Welcome to Vital Biology classes. For new updates, subscribe to the channel Vital Biology. The theme of our channel is Study Now, Be Proud Later. You can join our Vital Biology Telegram group and all the classes, notes, PDFs are available there. Link is provided below in description box. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Vital Biology classes. In the last class, we stopped until the male reproductive organ in the flowering plants, right? So in that we studied about that stamen, microsporogenesis, microsporangium, and about the pollen grains, right? So today let us start with the female reproductive organ in the flowering plants. That is about pistil, megasporangium and embryo. Okay. Here you are observing one thing, that is pistil. There are two different pistils from the different flowers, okay, but the parts are similar. So as I mentioned you in the previous class itself, by giving the example of that hibiscus flower, by showing it, I showed you that which is pistil and which is stamen, right there. So again I am explaining you that here that the upper part, this terminal part, that is stigma, okay, and at the middle there is a elongated long structure, that is style. It is called as style, okay, and at the basal part of the pistil, that consists of ovary which is bulged shape or else bag like structure, that is called as ovary, okay. This structure totally together it is called as pistil, okay. It's also called as gynoecium. We can call it as pistil or else gynoecium or else carpel, okay, carpel, okay. So I guess you remembered it right now, what is that pistil and stamen, okay. So now let us move on to the next slide, that is about pistil, okay. As I told you, pistil is also called as gynoecium and it's also called as carpel. So totally this pistil is a female reproductive organ present in the flowering plants, okay. You should keep that in the mind. So again I have showed you here the pistil diagram, okay. This is one of the single free pistil, only one pistil, single pistil, okay. So let us go through the first point, that is the gynoecium represents the female reproductive part of the flower. As I told you, it is a female reproductive part in the flowers. So here in this gynoecium place, you can also mention that as a pistil or else carpel also. It's almost similar, okay. So next point says that a flower can be monocarpellary. Mono means one, right? Mono, nothing but one, okay. So monocarpellary means one carpel, one pistil, okay, that is called as monocarpellary. Whereas it may also be multicarpellary, means more than one pistil, okay, or else more than one carpel, that is called as multicarpellary, okay. So you can name here also, this is single carpel, right? So you can tell this as a monocarpellary, okay. If there is more than one carpellary or else more than one pistil, then it is called as multicarpellary, okay. So next third point, third point, pistil may be syncarpous. Sync means fused together. As like in your mobiles, you can observe that sync your photos, contacts, they will be giving the notification, right? In the same way, here also syncarpous is nothing but fused together. If the pistils are fused together, here one pistil and here one pistil, bulged like structure, okay. So here one pistil, okay. If it is fused in this way, then it is called as syncarpous, okay. Or if it is not fused and it is present only in this way, it is a single pistil means, then it is called as apocarpous, okay. Then it is called as apocarpous. These are the important points you should note down in your notebook, okay. it's very much important. And this explaining about the pistil or else megasporangium or else megasporogenesis, that they may give for 5 marks, 3 marks. Okay, then they will tell to write a neat label diagram with the explanation about the megasporogenesis or else about the pistil or else megasporangium. Okay, so listen it carefully, it's much important. Okay, not only in theory second PU exams, but it's also very important and helpful in the KCET. Okay, KCET and NEET also, it's an important topic. Okay, so let's move on to the next point, that is each pistil. So this is one of the pistil, right? So each pistil consists of 3 main parts, that is stigma, style and ovary. So you can observe here there are 3 main parts, that is stigma, uppermost part, and style, that is middle part, and ovary, that is basal part at the end, means at the base of the pistil, that is ovary. So first part, that is, as I told you, stigma. So stigma serves as a landing platform for the pollen grains. So when the pollination takes place, the pollen grain that goes and lands on the stigma, so it should stand there, right? The pollen grain that should stand on the stigma, right? So this is like a flat and landing platform like structure. Okay, so the next point, let us go through the next point, that is style. Style is a elongated slender part beneath the stigma. You can observe here, this is a long elongated structure below the stigma, that is called as style. Okay, the next part, that is the basal bulged part of the pistil, that is called as ovary. So this is bulged like bag like structure, right? So it is called as ovary. And the placenta is located inside the ovarian cavity. So inside this ovary there is a presence of placenta, and placenta is inside the cavity of the ovary. Okay, and the megasporangia is commonly called as ovule. As I told you, inside this ovary there is the presence of ovule. Okay, so take it as a this has a ovary. Okay, it has 2 parts. Okay, inside this there is the presence of ovules. Okay, in this way, so these are called as ovules. Okay, inside the ovary. Okay, arise from the placenta. Because of the placenta, that ovule arises. In the next slide I'll show you that which is ovule. Okay, so this much about this slide. So let's move on to the next slide, that is megasporangium. As I told you, still now ovule, right? So this is one of the ovule. Okay, it's also commonly called as ovule, but scientifically it is called as megasporangium. Okay, so megasporangium, the main parts of this megasporangium, means ovule, is this is the structure of megasporangium. Okay, this is the structure of megasporangium, or else commonly called as ovule. So let us see the main parts of this ovule. So first part, that is funicle. Funicle, it is a stalk like structure that is attached to the ovule, to placenta. So let us take this as a placenta here. Okay, so if this is a placenta, here the placenta, for the placenta this funicle is attached, okay, with the ovule. Okay, this is one part. And the next part is hilum. Hilum is a junction that present between the ovule and the funicle. So you can observe here, this is hilum. Okay, this layer has hilum that is present in between the ovule and the funicle. Okay, so next part, that is integuments. 1 or 2 protective envelopes around the ovule. So here you can observe that there is a 2 integuments, that is outermost integument and the innermost integument, that is enveloped, means covers the ovule. Okay, which is protective layer which protects the ovules. Okay, so next let us move on to the next slide. Some more parts let us study. So next part is that micropyle. So micropyle, what is micropyle? A small opening at the tip of the integument. So here you can observe that integument is enclosed almost the ovule, but except a little gap. Here you can see this gap, right? So this gap is called as micropyle. Okay, small opening, gap like structure, that is called as micropyle. Okay, so the next point, that is chalaza. So this chalaza is at the basal part of the ovule. So here you can observe this is chalaza, this space is chalaza, and this is opposite to the micropyle. So here you can observe, so if this is a micropyle, oppositely here chalaza is present. This ending is the chalaza pole. Okay, so next part is that nucellus. So nucellus is a mass of cells enclosed within the integument having abundant reserved food material. So nucellus is a mass of cells, presence of number of cells, many cells enclosed within the integument. Okay, after the integument there is the nucellus, you can observe here. So integument is here, right? So inside the, after the integument there is the presence of nucellus. So here is the nucellus. Okay, so this nucellus is functionally that reserves the food material, which gives that reserved food material which supplies this food material for the ovule and embryo sac development. Okay, so next part, that is embryo sac. The center part, this is embryo sac. Okay, this is embryo sac, or it is also called as female gametophyte. Okay, it is located inside the nucellus. So as I told you, this is nucellus, right? Inside this nucellus you can observe here this embryo sac is present. Okay, I think the structure you have understood, that is megasporangium, or else it is also called as ovule. This is very, very important for your exams, and it is also very important for the KCET and NEET aspirants too. So the structure is much important, and I guess 2 to 3 times they have given in the KCET question paper about this part. So what is this part and what is this, like that. They'll just give an arrow mark, and they'll give the options like A, this is micropyle, B, funicle, and C, helical. In this way they will give the options, and they'll tell to name the parts. Okay, this way this is a much important topic, that is megasporangium. So let us move on to the next slide, that is megasporogenesis, another important topic, that is the process how this megaspores are developing. So let us see the definition of the megasporogenesis. Here you can see that the process of formation of haploid megaspores, the process of formation of haploid megaspores from the megaspore mother cell, that is also called as MMC, through the meiosis, that is called as megasporogenesis. Okay, I'll repeat it again. So the process of formation of haploid megaspores. Okay, the process of formation of the haploid megaspores from the megaspore mother cell, that is MMC, through the meiosis, it is called as megasporogenesis. Okay, for the formation of, if there is a formation of the haploid megaspores, there is the need of the megaspore mother cell, right? So that is MMC, with the help of meiosis, that is called as megasporogenesis. Okay, so let us see the first point, that is megaspore mother cell divide meiotically, not mitotically, meiotically, to form the 4 haploid megaspores. If there is a meiotic division, then it should form only 2 cells, right? So here there is a formation of meiotic, not mitotic. Okay, so this is meiotic, right? So this forms a 4 haploid mother cell. So here you can see that here there is only 1 megaspore, right? So this megaspore, that is dividing and forming the 4 megaspore mother cells, right? Sorry, megaspore tetroids. So here you can see this is 1 megaspore, this is another one, this is 1, and this is 1. So these are 4. So these 4 are totally, it is called as megaspore tetroid. Tetra is nothing but 4. Okay, so here there is 2 megaspore right? So it is called as megaspore dyad. Okay, then it is called as megaspore tetrad. Okay, so this is one step of megasporogenesis. Remaining, it's still there. So let us move on to the next. That is, one of the megaspore is functional while the other three, as we seen in the last slide, that so here we saw that there are 4 megaspores, right? So in this, only one megaspore is working and the other 3 are degenerated. Okay, means it is not seen. Okay, only one is workable. So that let us see here in this slide. So as I told you, one of the megaspore is functional. So one of the megaspore is functional, and while the other 3, so these 3, okay, while the other 3 is majority, while the other 3 are degenerated, or majority in the angiosperms. Angiosperms is nothing but flowering plants, right? So while the other 3 megaspores will degenerate, so one is functional. Okay, only one of the functional megaspore develops into the female gametophyte or else embryo sac. So as I told you, 3 will degenerate and 1 will remain for the functional, for the functioning purpose. So that one megaspore that becomes female gametophyte, or else it is also called as embryo sac. Okay, so the next point tells that this method of embryo sac formation from the single megaspore, as I told you, it's the embryo sac is forming with only one megaspore, right? Other 3 will degenerate, right? So this method of type of embryo sac formation from the single megaspore is termed as a monosporic development. If there is the formation of the embryo sac by the more than one megaspore, then it was been called it as multisporic development. But here, if there is the development of the embryo sac formation by only one single megaspore, then it is called as monosporic development. Okay, so let us move on to the next slide. That is development of embryo sac or else female gametophyte. So first point, observe it carefully. Nucleus of the functional megaspore. Nucleus of the functional megaspore. We took only one megaspore, right? So this is a cell and this is nucleus, right? So this is nucleus and this is cell. One megaspore we took. So okay, nucleus of the functional megaspore undergoes mitotic division. As I told you, if there is a mitotic division, then there is a formation of 2 cells. If there is a meiotic division, then it gives the 4 cells. Okay, 4 cells. So here in the development of embryo sac or else female gametophyte, the nucleus of the functional megaspore undergoes the mitotic division, and this nucleus produces forms 2 nuclei. So these are the 2 nuclei. Okay, if this is one megaspore, inside that the nucleus divides mitotically to form a 2 nuclei, that is this one nuclei and another nuclei. Again this undergo mitotic division and forms another 2 nuclei. Okay, and again that stage, that 4 celled stage, that 4 nucleated stage, again it forms the 8 nucleus. Okay, in that way. So I'll just go through this theory now. Okay, as I told you, nucleus of the functional megaspore undergoes meiotic division to form the 2 nuclei. Okay, as I told you, this is the 2 nuclei stage, and while it moves to the opposite poles. So here you can see at the upper pole one nuclei is present, nucleus is present. At the lower pole another nucleus is present. So these nuclei are present opposite to each other. Again this, the nuclei, 2 nucleate embryo sac, it is called as 2 nucleate embryo sac. Again these 2 nucleates sequentially, again it divides mitotically and results in the formation of 4 nucleate. Here you can observe these are 4 now, right? And later again the 8 nucleate stage of the embryo sac is formed. So here you can observe that here 8 nucleate is present finally. Okay, I think you have understood this concept. Okay, if you are not understanding this, listen it again and again the class so that you can understand it clearly. Okay, so the next point, that is the cell wall is laid down leading to the formation of the embryo sac. Okay, so let us move on to the next slide, that is final slide. So finally let us see the structure of embryo sac. So embryo sac that consists of, so now you stopped until the 8 nucleated stages, right? So next what it's happening here, you can observe this, egg apertures are formed. So in egg aperture, like there is a presence at the micropyle end. Egg aperture is present at the micropylar end. You can observe here, this much is a egg aperture parts that is present at the micropyle end, and it consists of 2 synergids and 1 egg cell. So here you can observe that there is a presence of 2 synergids, bag like structures, right? So these are the 2 synergids and 1 egg cell is present. So this is one of the egg cell. Okay, so and at the another end, that is chalazal end, there is the antipodals, 3 cells present at the chalazal end. So here you can observe that 3 red colored marked structures, that is antipodals, that is present at the chalazal end opposite to the micropylar end. And at the center there are 2 polar nuclei. So you can observe here, these are the 2 polar nuclei. Thus a type of angiosperm embryo sac at maturity, it is 8 nucleated and 7 cell structure. Okay, so this much is about the embryo sac. Okay, this will turn oppositely. So this pole goes down and this pole goes up. So here you can see micropylar end. At starting the micropylar end was at the upper part. So now at finally this micropylar end is at the downside and the chalazal end came towards upside. Why? Because it want to fertilize next. So this much is about this process of megasporogenesis. So finally I'll show you one of the diagram, total diagram. As you saw that there is the presence of micropylar end, and this side there is the presence of chalazal end, chalazal pole, and nucleus and microspore mother cell, and again there is a formation of the megaspore dyad, right? And next megaspore tetrad, and next the nucleus that divides to 2 nuclei, right? So here you can observe that 2 nuclei, again it further divides to 4 nucleate, next 8 nucleate stage. So here the stages are named. Okay, finally there is a formation of synergids and egg cell at the micropylar end, and at the chalazal end there is a 3 antipodals at the chalazal end. So totally the reversing of the embryo that takes place, means this micropyle lays down, okay, ulta, okay, and this chalazal end goes up. So you can observe here, now this chalaza is upper side and micropyle is at the downside. Okay, this much is about the female reproductive organ in the female flowering plant. Okay, flowering plants. So in the next class let us study about this pollination. Okay, so still that be watching this. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you. All the class notes and other study materials provided in our Vital Biology Telegram group. Link is provided below in the description box. Like, share, subscribe and press on the bell button for the notification of newly updated classes.